I'm Robin. I'm a certified financial planner, certified private wealth advisor, wealth manager by trade, and your rich auntie. Today I'm going to talk about crypto. Got a wonderful question, not from a client, not from a prospective client, but from a stranger at an event about cryptocurrencies. And it was something along the line of how do financial advisors feel about cryptocurrencies? Now, I want to make it very clear this is not an endorsement or a denigration of cryptocurrencies. These are just my opinions as a financial advisor. And one of the things as a financial advisor, wealth manager, I'm often in the room with a lot of other financial advisors and wealth managers, and I can take the temperature of what they're saying, hear the questions that they're coming up with about cryptocurrencies and other asset class, and have a general bead on how the financial advising wealth management industry feels about cryptocurrency. By far and large, I have a pretty good bead on how people feel. So what do financial advisors think about cryptocurrencies? Stay with me. So first things first, a lot of financial advisors, a lot of wealth managers don't invest in cryptocurrency, or if they do invest in cryptocurrency, it's very, very sparingly. And there are some reasons behind that. In the financial advising wealth management world, there's different areas, and we call them the broker-dealer world and the RIA, a registered independent advisor world. I got my career start on the broker-dealer side and moved over to the RIA side, but many financial advisors and wealth managers exist inside the broker-dealer world. And I won't go into detail about the distinction between the two worlds, but it is an important distinction. When you think of a broker-dealer, think of something like, Merrill Lynch, Morgan Stanley, Edward Jones, JP Morgan Chase. Those are major broker-dealers. And many of those advisors, there are limitations that are put on what the advisor can invest in, because if something goes really sideways with that investment, the broker-dealer is sued. And JP Morgan Chase, Merrill Lynch, Morgan Stanley, they don't want to be fielding lawsuits left and right. So for that reason, and many others, they restrict in what their financial advisors, wealth managers can invest in. And up until recently, many of the financial advisors, wealth managers, basically could not invest in cryptocurrencies. And that was a top-down order. It came from the higher ups at JP Morgan Chase or Wells Fargo or Morgan Stanley or wherever you were working, that they would not approve a portfolio that had investment in crypto. That is starting to change, but a lot of people were brought up in that environment where crypto was verboten. So if you started on the broker-dealer side, or if you've had your career exclusively on the broker-dealer side, cryptocurrency was verboten. You didn't get that much education about cryptocurrency. You couldn't put it in a client's portfolio. You often manage your own portfolio, so you couldn't even own it in your own portfolio. And something that you may not know about financial advisors is that we have to report our portfolio to our employer to make sure there's no funny business going on our own side. So there's a lot of financial advisors, there's a lot of wealth managers on the broker-dealer side who don't invest in cryptocurrency simply because they didn't get education and they didn't get a chance to invest in cryptocurrencies until recently. That's starting to change. Now on the RIA side, people on the RIA side tend to have more latitude. It's very different from the broker-dealer side. It's private wealth. I left the broker-dealer side and joined a private wealth firm as a partner. And once I did that, the opportunity to invest in cryptocurrency came available. Still, what I found on the RIA side, many of the wealth managers, financial advisors are not well educated on cryptocurrency and kind of shy away from it. So, first things first, one of the biggest problems that a lot of financial advisors and wealth managers do not invest in cryptocurrencies is because we don't really understand blockchain technology or cryptocurrency. And the sources that we rely on are other financial advisors, specialists who come and give talks to financial advisors to educate us, and our own research. There's been a lot of negative news over the past decade about cryptocurrency. And every time you hear about cryptocurrency, there's some kind of scam, there's some kind of heist going on, there's some sort of criminality involved in it. And I really think that perception has baked itself into the minds of many financial advisors and wealth managers and made us incredibly skittish about investing in cryptocurrency technology. And every time I sit in a room of wealth managers, and I actually went to an event in early October and sat in a cryptocurrency conversation with about 36 financial advisors, wealth managers, and I thought the very same thing. Many people just really do not understand cryptocurrency or blockchain technology, and financial advisors will not invest clients in products or in services we do not understand. Why is that? If it goes left, if it falls off into a ditch, if something really goes wrong with this investment, we are on the hook for it. Okay, I never want to have to sit my client down and explain some exotic cryptocurrency technology went belly up, and I can't adequately explain to them how it happened or why it happened. When you find yourself in a situation like that as a financial advisor, you have ruined that relationship with that client. So a lot of financial advisors are not investing in cryptocurrency or blockchain technology because they don't understand it. We're starting to get better education about cryptocurrency and blockchain technology. But something else you also have to consider, the average age of a wealth manager is about 57. So we tend to have a very mature set of people in the wealth management field. I really think it's to the next generation to take up the banner of cryptocurrency and blockchain technology, but we just don't really understand the technology and cannot explain it to the client. Second reason financial advisors and wealth managers really don't do too much around cryptocurrency or blockchain, it's unregulated. And that makes us nervous. When something is unregulated, it makes us nervous. A lot of work we do falls within certain regulatory bodies and regulatory spectrums. I'm licensed by the Securities and Exchange Commission. There's FINRA. My own corporate organization puts a lot of oversight on me and my work. We work in a highly regulated, highly supervised environment. And when something comes along that is unregulated, and cryptocurrency is unregulated, it makes everyone very, very nervous. A lot of arguments I hear from financial advisors and wealth managers is cryptocurrency doesn't really fall into a clear category. Is it an investment? Is it a currency? Is it a store of value? Is it all three? Is it none, etc.? If it's if it's an investment, why isn't it regulated like an investment? If it's not an investment, it's a store of value, why isn't it regulated like the US dollar? So there's a lot of questions about cryptocurrency and why there isn't more oversight into the cryptocurrency markets if they're trying to get the average mom and pop investor or the average millionaire or multimillionaire to put a substantial portion of their financial resources in cryptocurrency. So a big reason why financial advisors don't invest or invest very sparingly in cryptocurrency is because it is currently unregulated. Number three, and I mentioned this early, it doesn't fall into a clear category for us. So when I'm doing a portfolio review or constructing a portfolio or trying to explain this to a client, I need to be able to categorize something as either a store of value, as a currency, or as an investment. Cryptocurrency kind of crosses all three of those categories and a few others, and we can't clearly categorize it in most portfolios. So to figure out how it can play in a portfolio with other investments is a little bit difficult when you can't pinpoint exactly what an investment is. And if you want to list it as a currency, I have some questions about that. The main question is, if you have a Bitcoin or a fraction of Bitcoin, can you use it to go out and buy a cup of coffee? No, you can't. it's not a currency, and its value today doesn't match its value tomorrow. Is it a store of value? Well, in some cases, yes, it is. If you exist in a country with a really volatile currency and you need to store the currency, maybe Bitcoin looks like a good option, but we live in the United States. So I would prefer to have a store value as a dollar than as a Bitcoin. Is it an investment? Well, if it's an investment, why isn't it regulated? That's the kind of back and forth thinking that financial advisors often have. And if it's that complicated, the financial advisor, wealth manager is going to say, oh phooey, just leave it off the table. I'll invest in something else. So it doesn't fall into a clear category for us. And that's why financial advisors, wealth managers don't necessarily like it in portfolio. Number 4, and this one is very, very important. Clients don't necessarily understand cryptocurrencies and they don't understand blockchain technology. And one of the fastest ways to lose trust or lose a client is to place them in a investment they completely do not understand and have it go belly up. And so I think it's often the financial advisor, wealth manager's job to educate the client on different classes of investments and currency. With financial advisors not being very knowledgeable in this area, it's really hard for us to educate our clients in this particular area. There's also like a plethora of investments that have really good returns that are far easier to explain and have far easier terms to comprehend. Oftentimes when we're educating a client, you don't just tell them something once. You have to tell someone something 7 or 8 times before it clicks and they finally understand how it works and how it functions. Many financial advisors have to take time, often over years, to be able to explain all parts of a portfolio. In a universe with many other investment options, cryptocurrency just doesn't rise to the top. In many cases, the client doesn't understand it. The financial advisor doesn't understand it. It takes too long to explain it. There's many other issues with cryptocurrency. Once again, it's an oh phooey moment. The financial advisor will just choose and invest in something else because it makes our lives easier and it makes the client's portfolio easier to understand and comprehend. Finally, this one is an important issue, track record. Anytime you present an investment to me, I want to look at historical returns in the context of what was going on in the broader economy and the market to compare the returns on investment. Cryptocurrency started, or Bitcoin at least, around 2009, I believe. So that's 15 years of track record. Usually about 20 years is what we look for, but we do, as financial advisors and wealth managers, invest in some new investments that don't have a 20-year track record, but there has to be a compelling case built to overlook a shortened track record to invest in that particular asset or that particular asset class. Financial advisors, when we're sitting in a meeting, we're asking what has been the historical returns? What were the returns during 2007, 2008? When the stock market was down 40%. What was crypto doing? Crypto really wasn't doing anything because it didn't exist. So that is another reason why financial advisors, wealth managers often do not invest in cryptocurrencies. So tell me what you think. Tell me what you like and tell me what you don't like. And if you found this information useful, please like, share, and subscribe.